Hello! Again, welcome to this new episode, a speaker double feature of Revive Hi-Fi Canada. And we're talking today about the Kef Q100 and the Kef Q150. And I reviewed these speakers individually earlier, and I wanted to give another video here just talking about the two of them and comparing and contrasting. We here at Revive Hi-Fi Canada always try and talk about some of the speakers that you might find on the new or used market in your area and try to promote this wonderful hobby of hi-fi and listening to music, and it's one of the most relaxing things to do, and that we feel anyway. We love it here at Revive Hi-Fi Canada. So let's get on with this. So we have here I have on two separate stands, one of the speakers each, of the Kef Q100 on the left and the Kef Q150 on the right. And you can see that they look quite different from each other. The Kef Q150 is the newer model, and the Kef Q100 was its predecessor. And you can see that the Kef Q100 has more of a more classic look. It has kind of a vinyl wood look on the side of the cabinet. Both the Kef Q100 is also biampable, while the Kef Q150 is not. The Kef Q100 has the tweeter UniQ driver from Kef. They both have that, but the Kef Q100 has it a little higher up, and because it has a front port, as you can see, whereas the Kef Q150 has a rear port. What's also interesting is that the bass response between the two is rated very similarly. They're both around 50 hertz. And what's also pretty interesting is the front port on the Kef Q100 allows a bit more placement options. So when you get the Kef Q150 a little closer to a wall, it might come across with pretty heavy bass, a bit overpowering, but overall they're both very good small speakers. They're both about 12-inch tall. The Kef Q150 has a little bit more of a kind of tactile touch texture to the outside vinyl covering. The Kef Q100 comes with detachable grills. They're not magnetically attached. They're with the grill pegs, whereas the Kef Q150 you have to purchase the grills aftermarket, which I did, and they are magnetic. They're very nice as well. They're both excellent speakers here, so I'm not really going to say much negative about either of them because there's nothing really negative to say. I would say for a 12-inch speaker, they have a very good bass response. They are 5.25-inch woofer. The UniQ driver has that tweeter inside the middle of the woofer, which creates this really cool effect where things sometimes come across holographic or 3D. It's a coaxial type of speaker, so that's kind of their calling card, and they're very enjoyable to listen to. Some people don't like it. I really prefer and enjoy this type of configuration. As far as soundstage and imaging, they are absolutely outstanding. These speakers, for their size, really, you can walk to different parts of the room even, and you can hear them from the side, you can hear them from the front, you can hear them from above. They cast a very wide sound stage. Imaging, they're also both excellent at imaging. They have a very good ability to deal with complex passages of music and still create that separation of instruments, and they're just really good speakers. I would say the Kef Q100 in terms of bass, maybe slightly less bass, but it's almost too close to call. And the Kef Q150 100 also, I feel like, might be a little bit more sensitive to the type of amp that's used in terms of real sensitivity. They both are very similar. I believe they're around 85 dB sensitivity, but the Kef Q100 tends to have a little bit more of a less bassier sound and a more analytical type of a treble sound it's very close, but it's still just slightly more in the Kef Q100. The treble is tilted slightly higher on the Kef Q100, but not to the point where it becomes harsh or shrill. They're very good. I used to have the Klipsch R51. Compared to those, the Kef treble is much more tame than those. I would say that they're very. I mean, I liked the R51M as well. They were enjoyable speakers, but I really like the more balanced approach here. At least by my taste, the more balanced approach here with these Kefs. The Kef Q100 has slightly less bass. I would say it also responds, I would say, with faster music. I prefer listening to faster music or sound effects for TV, for example. With the Kef Q100, I had these connected to my television, to a small amp, and then going to my from my TV and listening to sounds when I'm watching TV, and they seem to perform really well with special effects. They create a really nice image, so you can run 2-channel and I can hear all the vocal or the script, the actors speaking very well within TV shows, and then it separates all the sound effects within the TV shows extremely well. I would say they're very good speakers in general. The Kef Q150 is a slightly different experience. I prefer the Kef Q150 more for music because it has kind of a more thicker sound to it. It has a bit more bass. It feels like, I don't know if it's actual more bass, but it just feels like it has a bigger thump to it. It also has slightly more recessed treble compared to the Kef Q100, so it's a bit tuned that way. It has just a very pleasant sound. They both do. I enjoy them both, but I'd say slightly more enjoy the Kef Q150 because it just has a really nice sound I can listen to for hours. I tend to pair, in terms of amps, I usually pair both of them with Marantz amps that I have. I have a Marantz stereo amp. It's from, I think it's a more newer amp. I used I think it's a 4021 Marantz, and they both sound very good with that amp. I've also tried others. I've tried my old Denon 90s amp, the DRA 345, and that's a bit lower watts. It's like 45 watts or so, I think. And also other amps, and they all tend to sound pretty good through these speakers. And but I really like the Marantz with these speakers, and yeah, I have to say, in my opinion, they're very good deals for the money, especially now the Kef Q150s. They're just excellent for the money. These speakers, they serve most purposes very well. You can use them in your computer close up, in a near field, and they sound really good. And I use them in a relatively smaller room. My listening room is like about 10 to 15 feet by say about 5 to 7 feet. It's just a bit more of a longer room, and I really enjoy the way they sound in there. One thing I gotta say is with vinyl, I particularly find the Kef Q150 and the Q100 both very pleasing sound with vinyl. So all I can say is that there really is no loser here. There's only winners. They're both excellent. That's pretty much all of the comparisons between them that I can make. I'm going to, as we do here on every video, we kind of give a sample of the speakers that we're listening to and that we're looking at in a particular video. So I hope that you can listen in the next couple clips, and just to get an idea of how they sound. I would consider them both excellent choices, and as I say, enjoy listening and enjoy and always I hope that this promotes interest in this hobby that we've been in for quite a few years now. So thank you very much for watching, and subscribe if you feel like this is useful. We'll be reviewing more speakers and more amps as the days go by. So thank you very much, and talk to you soon. See you soon. Bye.